Hello and welcome to another episode of Ankle Sore and Carlton Club Corner. So, after a week off and plenty of talk of change, nothing's changed. Game plan didn't change. Players didn't change. The players did change. He got rid of 4 young players, which he always does, and brought in these gems. Hack Williams, Orazio Fantasia, Hudson O'Keefe, fantastic, great, I agreed with that one, and Silvani. I was going to say Steve Silvani, I wish, even though Jack Silvani's going well, but Jack Silvani, and someone else jogged my memory. I can't remember who he brought in. But anyway, of course, Harry Mackay was a laid out because, he played last week. He must have played an intra-club game from to be injured. His knees sore all of a sudden. One game he's played this year, that's been, or 1.5 games, it's been up to par, Harry Mackay. Whether it's injury or, when he couldn't be bothered playing, he wasn't feeling right. 1.5 games for one of the highest paid players at the club. Okay, Harry. No worries. My thoughts on Harry Mackay. I wouldn't even play him for the rest of this year. I wouldn't have him at the club going forward. But that's just me. So, the Essendon game. 6 goals in the first quarter, which is a common theme with Carlton. Not 6 goals, but we always seem to start off all right in games we should win and just capitulate. We just go into a funk and we play this dour, rubbish game of football of kicking backwards and not attacking. I just don't know what to say anymore. I don't enjoy watching that type of football, especially by Carlton. I don't know what Michael Voss thinks he's doing. Like, how are you setting the club up for success, mate? Playing that football is not going to win you it's not even going to get you to the finals, let alone win a final. Or win a premiership is what we all want, let's be honest. We beat Essendon, who have got so many players out. It's not funny. And yes, I always say that, everyone's got injuries. But this is crazy. We've never seen anything like this for Essendon. Key position players, key position forwards, ruckman. They've lost everyone. And yet they challenged us Sunday night. Challenged us to the point where we win by 8 points in the end. 8 points against a pack of kids. Literally a bunch of kids. I remember the last episode I said the heart for Carlton. There was no heart. There it is. For everyone to see Sunday night. Where's the heart? Where's the heart? Why is everything so hard for us? Every time we have to kick a goal, it's such a struggle. Such a struggle. They're very odd. And I mean, once or twice a game, you'll get an easy goal over the top with, but everything's such a struggle for us. It shouldn't have to be. Surely human beings can't put up with that, let alone players, AFL players, Carlton players. You can't put up with that stress in a game. You can't be contested. Every possession you get's contested. It's not sustainable, Michael. I don't know what you're doing. You're quick to go away to Fiji or wherever you went on your time. Mate, you're kidding yourself. You're going away for 5 days. When your club, your job is on the line. In my opinion, your job is hanging by a thread. Personally, I would have Ange Postecoglou you. He won a title and got the ass. You've won nothing and you're still there. We're too quick to... Or we're not quick enough to make changes in this country. I'm telling you, especially AFL, we're just, give him time. I've heard this crap for years. Remember at the start of the season, the first few episodes I said stability. I couldn't give a stuff about stability. It's irrelevant. Winning games of football is important, not stability. I don't care. If you've got the wrong people in the job, but you're stable, but they're not doing their job, what's that tell you? Is that sustainable? In business, if you had the wrong people losing you money thousands and millions of dollars in business, would they give him more money to stay on, or would they replace them? You tell me. This is a business, football. Yes, it's a sport, but it's a business. The business is winning games for memberships, to buy jumpers, everything. Everything is about business. So unless you're winning, the business is not sustainable. I've gone off on a tangent here, so let's get back to football. Hudson O'Keefe, fantastic debut. Surely that's ended Mark Pitnett's career. Surely. We found the next ruckman. I told you 8 weeks ago, Tom DeConning is going. Get it through your heads. Start thinking about it now, because it's happening. There is no way he's getting paid $1.7 million at Carlton, nor should he. I don't care how good he is. You do not pay a player that much unless they are an absolute superstar that wins you games upon games upon games. Let's maybe Nick Tdk'S, someone like that. He's not half the player Nick Tdk'S is, so let's not be stupid. Let's St Kilda make the mistake in paying him $1.7. Great player, love him, not worth that money. We can't afford, as a football club, to put ourselves in that corner and not have any space to get any other players in. Having said that, it's funny that 4 weeks ago I said we need to trade big names. Two big names. I gave you 5 names and I said we need to trade 2 of these. All right? Do you remember that episode? It was about 3 episodes back. And you came up with good suggestions and most of you agreed because everyone's had enough like I have. Isn't it funny how the media's jumped onto it and made it a thing now? Oh, should they look at trading Harry Mackay, Charlie Curnow, Sam Walsh? And I tried to tell you, I can see things happening with this club. Like, there's a thing we always talk about, just our ankle sore. The other 2 that do the show with me is we say, we know our clubs. We've been following for that long. You're kind of entrenched and you understand what's going on. And I feel like, I know how Carlton operate. And until we do these moves, we are going nowhere. We are going nowhere. Until we get rid of these 2 or 3 big names and get some draft picks in, because we've got none. We need to just change the dynamic of the place. Okay? Because these big names, the ones, and I'm talking about the Walsh, Chera, Curnow, Mackay, Cripps, these players are on a lot of money. They're just too comfortable. We need to make them uncomfortable and fight for their spot every week. Okay? Because they're not doing that now. They just rock up. It feels like to me they just rock up and play. There is no course of action if they do something wrong or play a bad game. Cripps had 15 touches on the weekend. We almost lost. What have I been telling you about Patrick Cripps? I'm not a fan, never have been, never will be. He can't kick. He's not a goal kicker. He's not damaging. He's slow. 15 touches? You saw the run Essendon had. They just went 100 miles an hour. Couldn't keep up. That's a liability for me. But anyway, let's move on. Sam Doherty, missing targets by hand. And, it's frustrating. So, I just want to say that I actually I was at Carlton Football Club, Icon Park. I had to go there for something the other day. And as soon as I walked in, they've got, all the Premiership Cups lined up. And it just, like, I was stunned. I just stood there and looked at the last one. So they're all in order, 95, 87, 82, 81, so forth, right? All the way down. And I just looked at 95 and I thought, that's 30 years away, 30 years ago. And I was like, what's happened here? Like, you walk in there and it's got the best facilities and it's fantastic. And, it's one of those grounds that have been around for ages and we've always had the best of everything. And, I don't know, it was weird. It just struck me that did it come to this? That we haven't won a premiership for 30 years. Like, it just hit me. I don't know. So, people say I'm always negative about Carlton, but I was the most positive supporter of Carlton for years. For years, I was positive. Even in the early 2000s, when we were losing, I'm like, oh, no, we've got these players, and we'll be fine and that. But it just never was. It just never was fine. We just got worse and worse and worse and started making bad decisions after bad decisions after bad decisions after bad decisions, recruiting the wrong people. I mean, Steve Silvani, mate. The 20 players he got from GWS, let me know in the comments, did one player from GWS that he got, did one work out? Did anyone work out that said, I had a decent career that says, oh, geez, that was a good get from GWS? Like, just, things like that. For years, he was our, head of our list manager or whatever. Like, he's got no idea. Look what he's doing at St Kilda. Drafting defenders. All he gets is defenders. Come on. It's just... And I'm bringing this up because some of you in the comments tell me to go follow another club or you're not a true Carlton supporter. Now, let me tell you something. In the words of Jack Elliott, pig's ass, I'm not a Carlton supporter. Like I said to you last episode, I want the best for this club. I want them to win. I understand we can't win every game or every year, but we can be better. We can be much better than what we are or have been in the last 30 years. Let's be honest. But now, at least I'm a realist. I understand. There's problems. While other clubs are winning premierships and developing young players, we're stuck on the old notion of let's get this star and let's get him and let's get him. It doesn't work like that. The game's changed. The goalposts have moved. You win a premiership by drafting correctly and developing players. We don't do that. We don't do that as a rule. The only thing we've ever done in drafts is gotten the number one pick, and it's never worked out as them being the best player. Matthew Cruiser, Bryce Gibbs, Mark Murphy, all great players, but never generational talents. Bryce Gibbs was the first pick and Joel Selwood was picked 5 or 7 or something. And I mean, premiership, two-time premiership captain and 3 times premiership player, Joel Selwood. Look at his career. Even though Bryce Gibbs had a good career, but Joel Selwood, really? We go down as one of the best players ever to play the game. It just doesn't work like that anymore. It doesn't work going and get this player and getting that player. Yeah, of course you've got to get some players. But look at the Collingwood model. They don't go out and get superstars. They go out and get players that are needed. Billy Frampton. I keep bringing up Collingwood. Yes, they are the enemy, but they do things correctly. Why can't we do it correctly? And I've said this before and I'll say it again. Graham Wright, please fix us. Please, you're the only voice of reason that can fix us. So anyway, look, unless we make some big changes at Carlton, some big names get traded, the coach being replaced by a younger first-time coach, like I gave you the stat, in the last 20 years, there's only been one premiership coach that has coached before. One, Mick Malthouse, 2010. All the rest were fresh, new, first-time coaches. So unless we get back to that, I don't think we can be successful. Stats run our game. Coaches rely on stats. Well, Carlton, if you look at the metrics, Michael Voss won't win us a premiership. If you look at the metrics, don't worry about what I think or what you think. If you look at the stats and the metrics, Michael Voss will not be a premiership coach at Carlton. Facts. Real talk. Anyway, let's end it there. I'm getting a bit fired up as I usually do. There you have it. Another episode of Carlton Club Corner in the books. Let me know in the comments what you think about the Blues. I read all your comments. Love reading them. Thank you for all the support. When I get a chance, I try and reply to most of you. As you've probably seen, I go through fate, but then work gets in the way. I do this on the side, so I don't do this full time, or else I'll be getting back to every one of you. But there's hundreds of messages because everyone's as passionate as I am about Carlton. And I love it. So keep them coming. Hit the like button. Thank you so much for the support. I hope you're enjoying the episodes, and we'll see you on the next one.